Along the glittering shores of the Mediterranean, where the Nile spilled into the sea, rose the city of Alexandria. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE, it was envisioned as more than a city. It was to be the beating heart of culture, learning, and empire. And within its marble streets, beside the towering Pharaoh lighthouse, one of the wonders of the world, stood another wonder, not of stone but of wisdom, the great Library of Alexandria. It was not a temple of gods, nor a palace of kings. It was something rarer, something far more powerful, a temple of the human mind. Here knowledge itself was sacred, and here, perhaps for the first time in history, humanity dreamed of collecting everything that had ever been thought, written, or imagined. The Library of Alexandria was more than shelves of papyrus scrolls. It was an idea, an audacious attempt to gather the sum of human understanding in one place.
The library's origins are often traced to Ptolemy I, Soter, a general of Alexander who inherited Egypt after his master's death. But it was his son, Ptolemy II, Philadelphus, who gave it form. Under his rule, scholars were summoned from across the known world: Greece, Babylon, India, even lands beyond the seas. Their mission was not modest. The Ptolemies demanded copies of every text that existed. Ships docking in Alexandria were searched for manuscripts. Scrolls were seized, copied by scribes, and often the originals were kept while the owners received the copies. Nothing was considered too obscure. Works on mathematics, astronomy, medicine, philosophy, agriculture, and engineering filled the halls. Plays, poems, histories, and myths were preserved side by side with charts of the stars and treatises on the human body. It is said that over 400,000 scrolls may have once been housed within its walls, perhaps even more. Some claim the number was closer to 700,000. Whatever the truth, it was without equal in the ancient world. Here gathered the greatest minds of antiquity. Archimedes may have sent his works here. Euclid refined geometry under its shadow. Herophilus dissected the human body, making discoveries about the nervous system. Eratosthenes, working in the library, calculated the circumference of the earth with astounding accuracy, over 2,000 years before satellites confirmed it. The library was not just a storehouse, it was alive. Scholars debated, translated, wrote, and argued. The Museion, the Temple of the Muses, which housed the library, was a center of research and study, rivaling even Plato's Academy in Athens. In Alexandria, knowledge was not static. It was a fire that burned brighter with every new scroll that arrived.
And yet today, nothing remains. Not a single shelf, not a single scroll. The greatest library in history has been reduced to dust and legend. How did it vanish? Here lies one of history's most haunting mysteries. The first account of its destruction points to Julius Caesar. In 48 BCE, during his civil war, Caesar found himself cornered in Alexandria. To block enemy ships, he ordered the harbor to be set ablaze. The fire spread, and many ancient sources say it consumed the warehouses that stored manuscripts, awaiting cataloging for the library. Did the flames spread to the library itself? Some claim thousands of scrolls were lost that day, reduced to ash in the chaos of war. But the story does not end there. Other sources place the destruction centuries later. In the 3rd century CE, Emperor Aurelian thought to recapture Alexandria from Queen Zenobia of Palmyra. In the brutal fighting, entire districts of the city were leveled. Some suggest the library was among the casualties. Still others blame the Christian riots of the 4th century. As Christianity spread and pagan temples were torn down, the great library, associated with older, pagan knowledge, may have been a victim of zeal. And then, in the 7th century, the Muslim conquest of Egypt under Caliph Omar is said to have sealed its fate. Legend claims that when asked what to do with the scrolls, Omar replied, "If they agree with the Quran, they are unnecessary. If they disagree, they are heretical. Burn them." Scholars debate whether this tale is fact or fable, but it has haunted imaginations for centuries. The truth is elusive. Perhaps the library did not fall in one cataclysmic blaze, but slowly, piece by piece, over centuries, eroded by fire, neglect, and fanaticism, until nothing remained.
What knowledge perished in the flames? No one can say for certain, but glimpses remain. Ancient writers tell us that the library housed the works of great civilizations now lost, histories of forgotten peoples, texts from Mesopotamia and India, perhaps records of Egypt's own deepest past, written long before the Greeks arrived. It may have contained lost plays of Sophocles and Aeschylus, the complete works of Aristotle, treatises on medicine and science that could have advanced humanity centuries earlier. Some even speculate that technologies we consider modern might have been foreshadowed in those scrolls. Engines, machines, maps of lands across the ocean. We will never know. The ashes do not speak, and that silence is perhaps the greatest tragedy of all.
The Library of Alexandria has become more than a lost building. It is a symbol, a reminder of the fragility of knowledge, of how easily centuries of progress can vanish in a moment of fire and forgetfulness. Throughout history, its memory has haunted scholars. Renaissance thinkers dreamed of rebuilding it. Modern libraries speak of it with reverence. UNESCO once declared that every attempt to gather the wisdom of the world is, in some way, an attempt to recreate Alexandria. And yet, some whisper that fragments survived, scrolls spirited away before the flames, hidden copies in remote corners of the world. The dream of finding a forgotten chamber, buried beneath the sands of Egypt, filled with scrolls untouched for 2,000 years, still stirs the imagination. What makes the Library of Alexandria endure in legend is not just what was lost, but what it represented. It was humanity's first true attempt to say, "We will not let wisdom be scattered. We will gather it. We will preserve it. We will build a monument not of stone, but of thought." The city of Alexandria still stands. The lighthouse has long since collapsed. The waves of history have rolled over empires, kings, and conquerors, but the memory of the library still burns. And in that memory lies a warning and a hope. A warning that knowledge is fragile, that fire and fanaticism can destroy in an instant what took centuries to build, but also a hope that even when knowledge is lost, the human spirit yearns to rebuild, to recover, to seek once more the wisdom of the ages. The Library of Alexandria is gone, but its dream lives on in every library, in every archive, in every attempt to preserve human thought against the erosion of time. The silence of Alexandria's library speaks of tragedy. For within that silence, we hear the echoes of words that can never be read, ideas that can never be known, and a fire of wisdom that once extinguished can never be relit.